Hello guys, my name is Lucas and welcome to a new episode of our Fixed Perspective Scroller. In today's episode we're going to be creating NPCs and this is going to be our first NPC. So I just went to the asset store and downloaded this character. You can download the character that you like, and I just went to my scene and place it somewhere around here. So let's find our NPC, and it's not this one, that's the model, we want the prefab. So I want to start making the NPC so they can give us quests. I'm thinking that this guy is going to be maybe a shopkeeper or maybe just a character in the town that will give us a quest and maybe tell us some stories about the main story of our game, because I want that the main story of the game is told to the player through the characters. So the player will have a very basic comprehension, a very basic understanding of what's going on in the world, but the main story and the hidden story behind what the player thinks and the character thinks is going to be told by some special characters. So I'm very excited for this. I'm going to keep doing this. The character, you saw I moved some of the mummies away to give some room to this guy, and he looks a little bit like a monkey. I know he looks like me, I think. And I'm going to make it smaller because I think it's way too big for our player. So I'm going to give it all the scale settings to 0.75. I'm just going to place it around here. So this very easy thing to do. We see now that he's walking like Michael Jackson. So we want to change his animation, and you see the prefab that we used does not have an animator, and we don't have to worry about that yet. So just let's change the animation here. So if you go to its model and you expand the model information, you'll see there's different animations, one of them being free. So let's give him that animation, and so he has a tag. Well, okay, yeah, just give him the free animation, and if we play now, we are going to have that. So he's just waiting for us to have some meaning to his life. Also, the capsule collider, we want to make it smaller, the radius. So we're going to set the radius to about the width of the shoulders. So something about that. Then that will allow, for my game especially, I don't know how you're designing your game, but for my game, I'm going to be clicking on the NPCs to interact with them. But maybe you want to press the E button when you're close to them. So for example, once we get inside the NPC's radius, you want to set something so that when we press E, it's going to let us talk with him. And you can do that too with a similar way of what I'm going to do. So let's select our witch doctor. Let's just edit here. Let's make a NPC controller, or you can call it whatever you want. So what this class is going to do is going to listen for our input, and it's going to, if we click on it or if we press the E while we were near it, it's going to show a dialog box. So first I'm going to create some variables. I'm going to make an array of strings, and this array of string is going to be the dialogues that this NPC will tell us. And we're going to unlock each dialogue with an ID. So every time we do something on the game, it's going to give us, we're going to update an ID to this guy so he will know what dialogue it should tell the player. So for example, before we complete a quest, it's going to have the index. I'm just going to do it and show you. So I'm going to call this dialogues, and I'm not sure if I spell that correctly. And also we're going to have a dialogue index, and this is going to be an integer. Okay, so for example, the dialogue index is 0, and before we talk to him, he's going to show us the first string in the dialogue. After we talk with him once, maybe this is going to be increased by 1, and or after we complete a quest, it's going to be maybe upgrade by 1, increased by 1, or if we went to another city and we destroyed the city by accident and a lot of things happened, maybe this guy needs to skip a lot of dialogues because a lot of things happen between that. So he's going to tell us something different the next time we talk with him. And the dialogues, we're going to set them on maybe on the inspector for each NPC, or maybe we could load it with a JSON file. So depending on the NPC controller, is going to have its own ID, and he's going to find that ID within the NPC controller file, and he's going to load that from the JSON. But right now we're not going to get into that, but that's how we're going to do it in the future. So right now we're just going to set this in the inspector. And for this case, I'm just going to use the console because we haven't worked on a dialog box for our game yet. So void show dialog, and we want a int parameter, which is going to be the index that is going to be used to select what dialog is supposed to tell us. So show dialog will just print something to the console. So print, and what it's going to print is the dialogs with the index that we give here in the function parameter. So just that, pretty simple. We don't want the update. We might need the start though. Yeah. Now how are we going to trigger this? Right now we have a player controller where we have the input. I was thinking, and I'm going to make a new class called input controller, which is going to control all the input for everything. So I don't want to have so many things, because here it's going to start getting very messy. So I don't want to have so many things within the player class. So let's add that to Trello, and I'm going to edit. Right now we're here in NPC, so we are doing this. We want to add an input controller, and I want to do that soon. So maybe I'm going to do it before the quest. So probably it's going to be on the next lesson or episode or whatever you want to call it. But right now we have an input here, so we're going to do it where we attack. So within this, if we get the mouse button down, we're going to make another if statement. So if, and we're going to do a physics raycast, and we need to create two variables first: raycast heat and also a ray. Ray equals camera.main.ray screen point to ray, and the parameter for this is the input.mouse position. Alright, so if we raycast and hit an NPC, we're going to get its component NPC controller, and we're going to show the dialogues. So raycast, and we need a ray, I need the out hit, and max distance, I guess, can be math.infinity. So if the raycast hits something, which probably will do, we're going to see if that hit, the object that was hit, does it have a component. If hit transform.get component, it has the NPC controller within it. That means it's an NPC that we can talk with. So if that's true, we are going to again get the hit.transform.get component NPC controller dot show dialogues, and that should be a public function. There you go. Player controller show dialog. Check if is an NPC, and down here we're going to attack. So I just can bring that here. So if this happens, then we do that, and else we will attack. Why we want else? Because we don't want to show the character attacking every time we click on an NPC. It's not going to look professional enough. So else we attack. And we don't need this anymore, I guess, because now we're passed through the attack already. So before we can try this, actually we need to add some dialogues for our guy here. So I need to make that instead of making it public, actually you can just do this serialized field, and this is going to allow you to change that variable within the and there is some errors, that's why it's not. Shallow dialog, we need to have an index, so just let's do it 0 first. So now we can actually change the dialogues within our NPC. So let's give it three dialogues. So first, hi, nice day we have, have. The second thing can be, what do you need? And see ya. Alright, so we have 3 dialogues. The thing we want to do here is, this is going to be just an example. We will have to make a better system in the future. So I'm going to make this integer a public integer here. And instead of passing instead of using the index here, I'm not going to use an index, but I'm just going to use the dialog index. So dialog index. And in our player controller, we're going to, instead of doing this like that, we're actually going to do the following. Sorry that I am always changing my mind with my code, but we're going to make a variable called NPC controller, and it's going to just be this like that, and we're going to check if the NPC controller we created is not null. So if NPC controller is not null, that means we could actually get an NPC controller from that the heat transform. We are going to, and instead of calling this again, we just say NPC controller show dialog. But before we show dialog, we want to, after we show the dialog, sorry, we will increase the dialog index. So NPC controller dot dialog index ++. But if we talk with him 4 times, right now we have 3 dialogues. What will happen if we talk with him 4 times? It's going to show an out of bounds exception in our array, because this is just an array with 3 values. Whenever we reach 4 with this, we're going to have an error. So here we want to check if dialog index is greater than dialogs.length -1, and then we want to set the dialog index equals to this. We want to set it equal to this, and I've realized that in a lot of videos I say is equals to and equals. I think it should be this equals something, or this is equal to something. And yeah, I just want to apologize for my English. Anyway, we're going to print this now, and we can do it like this. Name plus this, so it's going to be like we're going to show the name of the NPC who is talking, and then we're going to do the talking. So I think we're ready to try this. Let's give it a try. There's an error here. Dialogues. Oh, we need to add one more concatenation plus sign. So I'm sorry for that. And play it. Let's try it. So we can kill a mummy, and we can't. Okay, we can attack. So even before we try to talk to the NPC, we realize we cannot even attack. So I placed the else if in a wrong place. So instead of doing this, we're going to return after we do that. I know later we're going to make it better, but right now it's just I just want to try this. So let's do it like this. I have an extra one here, so let's put that back there. And now, play it. And now if we taught him, "Witch doctor, hi, nice day we have. What do you need? See ya." And then he's going to keep saying see ya until forever. So I think we did it. Yeah, that's great. We have a dialogue, and we're going to need a dialogue box too. So let's add that to Trello. Milestone B, which is about mostly of the NPCs. We need a dialogue box. And I have a video. I'm going to set a link of this in the description. I have a video where I teach you how to make a typewriter effect. So the dialogue that some characters say goes like one character at a time. You can set a timer and etc. So we're going to do the dialogue box, then the input controller, then the quests, and then the rest. So I'm very happy that we're making progress. So if I click on him, I'm not attacking, and he keeps talking. See ya. And if we press anywhere else, we're going to attack. So that's great. I'm very happy. So thank you guys for watching. I really enjoyed making these videos, and I hope you enjoy them as well. Please remember, if you want to support me and keep me making more videos with better quality as often as possible, you can always support me in Patreon. And I want to thank my current patrons for supporting me. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your support. If you cannot support me in Patreon, you can always like my videos, share them with your friends, and comment and give likes. This help my videos get spread easier. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye. Peace.